Today I have a tutorial in Adobe Illustrator to show how I would set up a mock-up project from a client supplied PDF. So I don't know if you know this, but you can actually drag a high-res PDF into Adobe Illustrator and you can actually start to work with it. So what I did is I divided this up into 3 layers. I put the background graphics on its own layer and the Dieline on its own layer. So I'm going to make sure that these are unlocked. And I'm going to check my paper size because I want to run these mock-ups so that they maximize my use of material. So this is 12 by 9. I think if I go 17 by 11 tabloid size, I should be able to get 2 packages on one document. And since the client needs 6, that will work out the best. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this pink. And the way I move this pink to a separate layer is by going select, same, stroke color. And it selected all that, and then I just moved it to the dye layer. Now I'm going to go back, select, same, stroke color, and I'm going to make it a less obnoxious color, a less noticeable color when the mock-up is printed. So I'm just going to choose a gray, which that's actually, I'm going to make sure it's 1 point. Command A will select everything on this layer. You can also go like this and it'll select everything on this layer. You can select this little circle icon on the layer, click to target. So I'll make it a little bit darker. No, I'll make it a little lighter. I think that's probably okay. And all the lines are 1 point. So it'll be legible when we need to trim around it. And then another thing I do when I'm running a mock-up is these interior lines don't really need to be here because it's pretty obvious where the folds are. So I'm going to remove these. I'm also going to save this as mockup, and I'm going to save it as Illustrator document. I'll remove these 2. This one. So the only lines I'm really left with are the ones that are necessary to cut the box out, and then we can figure out where these interior lines are because of where the lines meet. Another thing you could do is make those lines really light or dot them, but I think in this case they're probably not necessary. So I'm going to zoom out, unlock my background layer. I'm going to move this in a little so it doesn't use up so much ink. And my next objective is to make it so that it doesn't use so much paper. So I'm going to rotate this. And I'm just going to make sure, I just need to make sure that my die line is 1/8 away. So I set my cursor value to 1/8. Just going to move it so I have plenty of room from the edge. And then I'm going to hold down the Shift and Option keys and select this to make a duplicate and rotate it 180. And then I could almost nest this, since this die line is on the top layer. You can see that this die line is on the top layer. I can nest this package into the other package. If this die line was on the same layer as the background, I would need to make sure that this die line is on top. So then I just save it. It's only using a tabloid size sheet for 2 packages. I'm getting 2 packages out of it, so I'm maximizing my use of material and space and ink, really, because they're overlapping. I do need to move this in though. I'm going to group this second box. And I'm going to nudge it over because this needs to be at least 1/8 away from the edge so that the printer, because if the printer doesn't, obviously, unless the bleed is set up, it's not going to print all the way to the edge, and I don't want bleed anyways. So then I'm just going to save this, and then I would save it again as a PDF when I submit it so that it's the smallest file size. High quality PDF. And that's it. How to set up a mock-up, a package mock-up, so that you can maximize your use of material, ink, and space. Please like if you learned something. Thank you for watching.